Welcome to the Grateful American series, an interactive multimedia program designed to restore enthusiasm in American history for kids and adults too. Creator of this series is David Bruce Smith, an author and publisher here in Washington, D.C. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, your co-host, founder of Incandescent Public Relations and Incandescent TV. Today, it is our privilege to interview Richard Semiatin, an academic director of American politics at American University. He has been teaching politics and history for nearly 3 decades. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, your co-host, here today with David Bruce Smith, founder of the Grateful American Foundation. Well, welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you, Hope. Thank you, David, for having me today.
So when you and I talked originally, you listed 5 things that transcend the American Revolution to today. So those include reason, abort, retry, and fail, opportunity, you say the outs are in, and then all the world's a stage except in the United States, where it is many stages. So I'm going to throw the interview over to David to get to the bottom of these 5 interesting discussion points.
Okay, so before we get to those 5 points, I just want to ask you to frame the trends in American elections.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Since 2008, what we have found is that there's a yearning for closeness in relationships, that authenticity matters. But at the same time, there's also that connection with how that relates to issues.
But going back now to these 5 qualities that are, I guess, comprise a cycle, reason being the first one. Can you talk about that?
Oh, sure. Our country was an experiment. And so in the wake of the revolution, in the wake of the failure of the Articles of Confederation, there was a need for a somewhat stronger federal government. And this was the first of its kind in the world.
So let's talk about point number 2, abort, retry, and fail, which is the system of lawmaking set up in the U.S. Constitution.
We're talking here about the legislative process and the process of making laws. The system is set up to make these things fail. It has to go through committees, subcommittees, back up to the committee, voted on by the full House, and if it's a majority, then it has to go to the Senate. And the Senate passes its own version. Then the two get together and they have a conference committee and they have to agree on one version. And each year, only about 10% of the bills introduced become public laws. And among those, probably 80% are reauthorizations of current law.
The next point of yours was opportunity.
Yeah, the whole idea of the Constitution was not to provide too many rules in order to maximize the choices that people have.
So your 4th point is that the outs are in. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea in the U.S. is that minorities are protected. And this comes from the fact that in the colonies, the groups that came here were small entities. So that really inspired the concept that the minority can be important.
To paraphrase something I believe you said, all the world's a stage except in the United States, where it has many stages.
In the United States, I mean, politics really is a stage. But in the United States, we have stages in a different sense. We have the federal government stage, which is composed of a legislature, and within it are 2 stages, a House and Senate. We have a presidential stage, and we have a judicial stage as well. And below that, we have a state stage, and below that, we have a local stage. And they're all empowered. And this creates a very complicated process.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being with the Grateful American Foundation tonight. We are thrilled to have had you, and we hope to have you come back again. Maybe we can talk about the election.
I'm honored to be your guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, executive producer of the Grateful American Foundation, here with David Bruce Smith, the founder of the organization dedicated to restoring enthusiasm in American history for kids and adults. Tune in for more of our interviews on thegrateful.americanfoundation.com. We look forward to talking to you soon.